Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. How is everyone doing today? Let's see what's going on. Hold on a second. I am showing. Okay. So I love it. Let's first take a look at the chat before we start going here. I've already seen some stuff. What do we got? Already got people saying cap, false, probably quit grading, which is a good idea for modern anyway. Definitely didn't quit grading. There's no way. Haha. Doesn't Alex already work for himself? I know he sold a lawn care company or something like that. I did. That was a while back. What else have we got? All kinds of craziness. Assuming this is true, context clues in prior videos, live streams hinted this happened not too long ago. Folks, all right, guys. So just to kind of get rid of all the rumors, yeah, I 100% quit my job. I am jobless. I am unemployed, 100%. I just wasn't liking what I was doing, and I finally got sick of it. And no, this wasn't really planned. It definitely wasn't something me and my wife planned on. I just finally got too sick of it, and I said, you know what? I don't need to be here. I don't need this job. You know, I mean, the money was great. It was really good money, but you find out really quick that, growing up, your parents and your teachers and people telling you, find something you like doing because you'll never work a day in your life, and money isn't going to bring you happiness, and you can have the make the most money in the world, but if you hate your job, it doesn't matter. And it's all true. It's very true. When I sold my company and took the job, it was more money than I had ever made in my life. And but again, it wasn't for me. So no, it's not cap. Sort of, right? So it's sort of cap. I'm not planning to probably do this full time yet. We're gonna see how it goes. I don't plan on getting a job this year. Put it that way. I don't plan on going out and getting a job this year. Definitely gonna go through the holidays and just kind of put some work into this, put some work in some other things. That's one of the other things I don't talk about a lot. Is I always have a lot of things going. I'm always really busy. I still have a part ownership in a couple different service-based companies. And now, guys, it's not a lot. I'm not making tons of money or anything, but I do have part ownership in a junk removal and hauling company, and then also in a car detailing, ceramic coating, stuff like that type company. And where it's just people I knew, and they needed financing to get the business started. So like I finance the businesses. And then I handle all of the business side of things. Like I handle all of the marketing. I handle all of the books and the accounting. I basically run all the business side of things. And then the other my partners, they're the ones that actually take the calls, set the appointments, do the work, and I take care of everything else. And so I do have income now. Finally, like I'm paid back on both those companies now. Like all my money I put in, I have back. We are cash flow positive and all that. So I do have income from a couple different sources there. Again, not a lot. Maybe $1,000 to not even $3,000, $1,000 to like $2,500 a month, depending on the month, is what I usually have coming in from those. Sometimes less. And so, because I don't have majority ownership of the companies. I'm just a minority owner, and it's not a lot of income, but it's something, right? It's something. And yeah, obviously YouTube, it's something. It's not a lot, but it's there's some ad revenue there. Obviously, I'm partnered with a few people on here. You've seen me mention them in videos. Obviously Low Popping and Canto Shark, and we've done some things with Shag Sports Cars and things like that. So there's some things going on there with some sponsorships and things. And then obviously all of you guys for helping out. Anyone who's uses any of the links in the description when I put them, buys from Pokey.ne, which Brian's a great guy. He's got great products. He packages and ships stuff well, and I love supporting Brian. And so anyone that purchases a Poke.NE, he throws in a free pack if you use code Nomics and click the link, and I get a small, obviously percentage there, as well as eBay and some other things. So obviously some affiliate stuff. And then, most recently I've really stepped up my buying and selling game, and really been rolling through a lot of inventory there. I think my eBay in the last couple months, I've sold like 200 and something, 300 maybe now items. I haven't looked. And, I have a few hundred cards at PSA right now already being graded, more orders to send in. So that's really running a lot smoother. And so I have my hands in a lot of different things, a lot of different income coming in a lot of different ways. Now, all of that combined still doesn't add up to even half of what I was making at my job. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at. And so, I'm going to, this week, me and my wife are actually going to, go away or just take some time for a long weekend and just kind of enjoy things a little bit. But next week, I really am going to kind of take this a little more serious. I mean, I always put effort in my videos, always put effort into this channel, all that. But I'm definitely going to take the content and social media and all this a little more serious in the coming months, just to see kind of where we can take this and see how things can go. There'll probably be some changes, but it'll be a lot more content. Probably going to get, TikTok and Instagram going a little more. Going to get the website revamped, maybe start doing some breaks again. I don't know. I may even start streaming on Twitch or something and just, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm definitely going to put in a lot more effort, a lot more work. So you guys are going to have a lot going there. And we're just going to kind of see where things go. As far as like financially, we're pretty financially secure. A lot of who've been on my channel for a long time. I sold a lot of Pokemon product back in 2020, 2021. Over 200,000. I don't know exactly because of how I did it. I don't know exactly if I sold like 300,000. I know I said that before. It was between $200,000 and $300,000 worth of total income I had come in from Pokemon during that time. And because I didn't sell everything, my whole collection at the time was valued over 300,000 if I took everything into account, but I didn't sell everything. And so I all that money, we put some into the house, we paid off some debts, our cars and all that. But most of that money is we still have. Some's in savings, and then the rest is in the stock market. And and then also, my wife has a decent job and she has income coming in. So everything there's stable. It's not like something where I have to run out and get a job to be able to pay our bills. We still make far more than what our bills are each month. It's really just about, getting ahead, getting farther ahead while we're young, so we don't have to struggle when we're older. So that's really all it is. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So no, it's not cap. So sort of, right? I didn't really plan to quit the job and now I'm going to jump into Pokemon and do Pokemon full time. However, that's where I found myself right now. I am going to, for the next few months at least, if it doesn't go better, I will be doing Pokemon and social media and all of this full time. So yeah, I think it's going to free up time, make the content and everything a lot better on the channel. I'm definitely going to be taking my sourcing and buying and selling a lot more serious and put more work into the TCG Player and eBay store. And I think it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun these next few months. I'm going to have fun. We're just going to have fun and enjoy life and see where it takes us. And, if 2, 3, 4 months from now, it's kind of stagnant, market slow, things aren't so, whatever it may be. There's plenty of jobs out there. I can start applying. I can find a different job. Not worried about that in the slightest. I just know that I was not happy doing what I was doing. And, say what you want about Dave Ramsey, right? He's got some good advice. He's got some stuff that's, kind of, fishy. But, one of the things he always says is, hey, you don't have debt and you got your bills paid. You don't need to be there, right? I don't need to be here. Bye. It's like, if there's a lot of things I don't like about the job, like, yeah, it's nice to have the paycheck, but I don't need it. I don't need to be here. I don't need to take anything from anyone there. I'm out. And I left. And so what I did, if anyone didn't know, I was in sales. When I left, and here's the other thing, I was top tier at my company. There was 38 total salespeople. Okay. And when I left, I was fluctuating between the 9th and 10th person. So I was like 9th or 10th out of the whole company in sales. And so I was doing well. It wasn't like I was getting washed out or failing. I'm decent at sales. And it just, like I said, there's just things I didn't agree with. Think changes were going to be made, and just didn't feel like it anymore. So that's why we're here. That is the whole everything. You know, I'm full transparency. I don't hold anything back. I don't shy away from anything. That's the whole story. It's everything that happened. So that's where we're at. I figure we'll just kind of hang out and talk a little today, take some questions, maybe talk about little things going on in the market. But I just wanted to get that out right away because I'm not a clickbait guy. I didn't want to just throw a clickbait thumbnail out and not talk about it the whole time and make everyone sit here and wait for it. But so that's it. That's the whole story. It's where we're at. And so yeah, technically I'm full time in Pokemon and YouTube and stuff for the time being. So we're gonna see how that goes. What's going on in the wild and crazy chat as always? Let's see what's up. All right. What is up, everyone? First of all, let's see. We got Trials here, like always. What's up? TT, Sungonda. We got Lee. I know you're always here. I don't know how to say the name, though. Sakinaks. We got Fargo, Trial. Let's see. Tiberius. BB's here. King Charizard. Market Scrapper. Oregon. And guys, also thank all of you who are channel members. Really appreciate that. Anyone who is an Nomics Plus member, like I said, we are going to be doing box breaks again coming up. So you will be able to use that 10% off if you do want any of the packs in the box break. So it's a little more, you're getting something out of it again. I appreciate everyone who stayed members through when I wasn't doing box breaks. So I appreciate that. And, but yeah, so we're going to bring that. So yeah, thanks everyone who's signed up for the memberships. Don't feel obligated to. It's just, you know, the emojis. And then if you sign up for the next one up, it's you get 10% off the box break packs. But that's pretty much it. It's just really to support the channel. You don't feel obligated to do any of the membership stuff if you don't want to. What else? Who's in the chat? Kevin, Alex, the entrepreneur. Honestly, Kevin, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I mean, after college, I graduated college and I never got a job. I went straight into, I ran a lawn care company all through college. And when I graduated, I decided to buy out another company and just double in size and hire some people and start going to work for myself. So I actually never had a job until recently. This is the funny part. And I found out I hated it. I don't know if I just hated that one. But I mean, I've had some jobs like, you know, kind of like periodically, but never like, never long-term. I've pretty much worked for myself most of the time since college. So this is nothing new for me. I'm very good at staying organized. I'm very good at using my time wisely and time management and all that good stuff. So no stranger to anything like that. Is this real? You are going full-blown Pokemon? It's real, Kurt. No cap here, man. Claiming welfare now. Yeah, I do love that. Like, don't you love in the movies how like someone will either like get fired or quit or whatever, or their company will go out of business, and like the next day they're on the streets, or like the next day like they have bills piling up and can't pay their bills. It's very strange. Another thing about my industry, which is pretty cool. So with when anytime you're selling like construction or home in sale, so basically what you get is you get half of your commissions up front and you get the other half when the jobs are actually completed. And so I'll still have paychecks coming in for probably like 6 months, which is the crazy part. Like, cause you continue to get paid on your jobs as they get installed. And so it's kind of the cool part too, is like, I'm not really going to be without a paycheck, at least for like 4, 5, 6 months down the road. And so that's another reason why I felt comfortable with it. It's not going to, I mean, it'll be like half of what I'm used to getting, but they'll still be decent paychecks. I mean, like I said, I was making fairly decent money. It was a good amount over 6 figures. And so, you know, half of that still good money. And like I said, I have other things, you know, still going on. So it's not like a regular, like a salary job or an hourly job where you quit and you have no income and someone doesn't have anything else going on. Like I have a few things going on. Like I said, little bits coming here and there, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 a month from places. But, so it makes it a little more comfortable, as well as obviously having a wife that works and has a full-time job as well. It makes it a little more comfortable where I'm not too worried about, anything like bills or like living expenses or anything like that. Let's see. Kurt says, congrats to your honesty. Honestly. Oh yeah. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we go from here. I'm excited to, I hesitate to say like to try, because that kind of like implies that I haven't tried to make good content. I've always tried to make quality content, but like to actually try this whole YouTube, social media, thing, I'm gonna actually try at it for these next few months while I have the time to, and see where we can take it, see what we can do with it. I think it'll be a fun ride. Thought I was doing IT. That has to be a joke, right? Come on. I'm like, I am the worst tech person. Why do you think I use Streamyard? I can't figure out OBS. I can't figure out Streamlabs. I mean, no, I'm definitely not in IT. I promise you that. What did you do for a living? I did in-home sales. So I basically drove to customers' homes, presented a product, and priced out and tried to close the sale in the home. And if you close it, you get a pretty sizable commission for doing so. And that was what I did. A lot of driving, a lot of negotiations, a lot of stress, and just the way the company was run. I didn't agree with a lot of things, and I was just I was sick of it. I was tired. I was done. And that's all there is to it. And like I said, the money just wasn't, I'm sure, like I said, there's always a number, right? There's always a number where it probably is worth it. Like maybe if I was making like 400,000 or 500,000, then it'd probably be worth it. I'd stay and just deal with it and suck it up. But for 150, even 200 to 225 a year, some people hear that number and they say, I'll do anything for that. And you think that, right? I thought that, but it ended up not being that way. It was good for the time being, and it was great. I made it a while, and I finally said, I just can't do it anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Life's too short. I'm too young for this. If I can't find something else I like better, then I can always go back and do that same stuff again. Well, and here's the thing, I left on good terms too. I mean, everything's all good. No hatred. Just I wasn't happy. Wasn't happy is all it really came down to. That's it. How much is really good money? Basically I'll just give you the range. The bottom salesperson out of 38 salespeople in the company made like just over 100,000, and then the top person, she was making about 375. So that's the range. The average was like between 150 to 225 is what you can make doing that style of sales. And I was above average. I was like, 9th or 10th in the company out of 38. So that'll tell you around where I fell without telling you exactly what I was making. Let's see. Alejandro, he's always here, man. Always here showing love. Folks, let's go. Congrats, Alex. I hope all goes well, my friend. Enjoy yourself for a bit. Sit back and take the time to plan the next moves. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly what we're doing. We're going to take the time, get the vision of what's going to happen and make the next moves. No rush, and not going to rush into anything. Got to make sure the next thing I do, I like. And who knows, maybe we'll make some out of this whole social media Pokemon, whole deal here. You never know. You never know what's possible when you start putting your mind to something. So we're going to see what's up. Let's see. What else do we have going on in here? Adam says, how big of a nest egg do you feel comfortable with this jump? If you're asking like how big do I think others, everyone's different. So here's the thing. My wife's income alone can pay our monthly bills. Like just clean and clear. We can afford to live with just her income. And then like I said, I have partial ownership in two different companies that I help run, where I basically just I financed them to get all the equipment and everything, get everything started, and then I take care of like the marketing, the accounting, the books, like all the business stuff that like the people operating it don't want to take care of. They just want to get the calls, make the appointments, do the work, and go home at the end of the day and not have to worry about the rest of the stuff. I take care of all the back end stuff. So I have paychecks coming in from that monthly. And then obviously, YouTube and all the stuff that goes along with YouTube all pays me something. And so that's why I felt comfortable with it. And then along with, I'll have checks coming from my job for, a few more months while my back ends come in. And so, it's a little different situation. If you have zero income and you're trying to like, how much nest egg? I mean, I would what would I feel comfortable with if I didn't have any income coming at all? I'm just like jumping in fresh. I'd probably want at least probably $50,000 liquid, if not more. But like I said, with cash flow still coming in, I feel, and I have a large nest egg as well, but it's just, I'm not going to have to, we're not going to have to tap into any of our savings or any of our investments or sell anything. I mean, everything is going to keep moving like normal. It's just, we're going to be putting less money away, be investing less and all that. I mean, it's really no change in lifestyle type thing. It's just, not getting as far ahead for later on in life. It's like, we were just trying to get really, really far ahead. So in our 50s and 60s, we're not having to, work too hard. So it's just, that's all it is. I mean, that's really the only comes down to. So, everyone's situation is different though. Class act, man, I don't know. Depends on the job, current assets, and also your financial liabilities. But congrats to those who are able to quit. That's everyone's dream after all. Yeah. Again, like I mean, I'm able to quit, but I'm not like trying to say like this is my 100%, long term or like main focus and goal going forward, into the unforeseeable future. I'm gonna take it serious for the next few months, 3, 4. I mean, definitely after the holidays. I'm not gonna try and jump in anything before the holidays. Don't want to have to be the low man on totem pole somewhere and have to work through like Christmas, New Year's, and all that. No desire to do that. So we're going to see what happens next year. I'll see how things are going here, if we're growing or if any other income. I'm going to spend some more time probably on the other 2 businesses I'm a part of, where I have small percentages. I have like 20% ownership. So I don't see a ton of profit. So it's like, I was more just like the finances, and it's real easy for me to keep the books and do the marketing because I've done it for so long with my own company. So it's like, it's just second nature to me. So it's not really any work, but I'll probably put in a little more effort and help them out and try to get some more business coming in. Just so I can get a little more piece of that, just so I have time in my hands. And so, I'm just going to try and put some more effort in there and, see how things go. So yeah, hey, honestly, man, these next few months are going to be living the dream. If I end up having to go somewhere else, I'm definitely going to find a better place I enjoy more. But yeah, I hear you. It's a good position to be in. I agree. I work in IT, making 6 figures and hate every day of it. I don't even really work a lot, but if you really dislike something, no amount of money makes it better. Absolutely. And here's the problem is like, there's a line, right? Because like people that if anyone's watching this doesn't make good money, or they're like getting by with like 30 or 40 grand a year or something, they hear that and they just think like, oh, you're so privileged. Oh my God, this and that, you need to be more grateful. And it's like, I get that side of it too. Like, I understand that, I grew up completely middle class. I mean, as middle class as middle can get, had to work for everything. It wasn't given anything basically. I mean, we weren't poor by any means, but like, I wasn't like given, money or given a job or given any type of things to get me ahead or anything like that. I didn't have any family members that left me money or inheritances. So I didn't have any of that. So I get it. Like, looking back, it's like, I thought the same thing. Like, if I could only get a job making that, then I'd be happy. I'd be set. You'd never hear me complain. And I found out really quick that wasn't the answer. And so, until you're in that position, you don't realize it, because man, it's just like the higher income you get to, the more BS you got to put up with from people. And sometimes that BS just isn't worth it. That's all I got to say about that. Leaf Green Goblin, man, go watch back the rest of this. This is not clickbait. This is all too real. And then they're selling the appreciated sealed for the big DK income. I'm not selling any sealed product. Everything. Well, I might sell I've been selling like some random sealed product, but nothing like major. None of my like Pokemon sealed product or none of my booster boxes. I mean, you'll probably see like UPCs on there at some point, or you'll see like maybe some other TCG stuff. But no, I'm not like liquidating my investments. Like I said, I don't need the money like that. It's not. I'm not in that kind of circumstances. I promise, guys. Is it a good times to buy slabs? Thoughts? Man, it's just a great question. I don't know. I'm gonna make a whole video on that. I've been really looking into that. I just don't know. As far as modern goes, yeah, the pop reports are so high, but I just think that there's going to be more than a couple thousand people, more than 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people that are going to want the slabs and that want a 10 in the future. And I can't see, I don't know. I just can't see the largest, like the most popular era, like Sword and Shield, and now going to Sun and Moon, even like XY Sun and Moon. I can't see that many people being drawn to the hobby and never wanting to come back and never wanting those cards. I mean, you're seeing people now go back and buying all these XY and Sun and Moon boxes. You are seeing a lot of XY Sun and Moon slabs start to rise in price. And to say that Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, some of these will never do that, or even that some of these vintage popular characters, like popular Pokemon, won't do that. It's hard to say they won't. You know, I think they could. It's just the reason I don't like to talk and push those too much is I think they're a lot more risky than modern sealed product, right? Because, you know, a slab in general is already inflated because someone else did the grading, and you know, there's a premium on it because it got the grade. Unless you're buying slabs for like 20 or 30 bucks, where literally it's like the price of the card plus the cost of grading, and you're just getting it basically a 10 for, you know, the cost of what it costs. So, I mean, yeah, if you're wanting to like move into like low dollar stuff where there's very little to no risk, where your risk is basically staying stagnant and not having growth. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm still hesitant on holding slabs long term. There's definitely you know, trends you can hop on, and you can actually you can catch moves like I did on some XY stuff, and a lot of people did on the Sun and Moon tag team stuff. That could be a play with the Sword and Shield alt arts coming up, but as far as like long-term slab holding and growth, I don't know. I'm gonna look into it more. I'm gonna come up with a better answer for that in a later video. Unless you already have good assets or passive income, the idea that money isn't everything is a fallacy. Yes, I agree with that to an extent. Money isn't everything, but at the same time, I get you need money for everything, and money provides a, you know, comfortable lifestyle and enjoyable lifestyle. However, there's levels to it, right? How much do you need, right? Do you need to go, you know, buy a fancy sports car? Do you need to live in a 5,000 or 4,000 square foot house? Do you need to go on multiple vacations a year? Do those vacations need to be extravagant, or can you do vacations cheaper? Do you have to wear, you know, certain clothes? Do you have to go out to fancy restaurants, or are you okay just going to a? So there's a lot of different like ways you can, you know, still be as happy and just like tone down your lifestyle and not need as much money. And so you can, you know, find a job that makes you happier, but maybe you're making less, but your lifestyle is still enjoyable and happy. So yeah, I mean, you have to be making a certain amount of money, I guess, to be enough to like have your bills paid, be putting money away, be comfortable, not be stressed out. But there's levels to it. Like, do you need to be making a, you know, astronomical amount to be happy? So there's just different ways to look at it. Everyone, here's the thing. There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone out there wants something different. Like, you'll watch these, like, you know, the gung-ho entrepreneur guys. I get up at 4 a.m. and I get my workout, and then I go work, and then I do this, and their whole day's regimented out. And hey, some people that they like that, and they got to have the best car. They got to sit in the VIP sections wherever they go. They got to be in the finest suits. They got to take the finest vacations, and that's what they enjoy. Other people, right? They're fine just, you know, be able to show up to work and not have to work more than 40 hours a week, and be able to, you know, have a pizza and watch the football game on Sunday, and maybe take a vacation a year, and that's enough for them. And so, like, and then there's a whole slew of in between that. And so it's really finding out what's best for you in your situation, because everyone's situation is different. There's no right or wrong. There just isn't. What did we say in that one video? Comparisons. Pokemon Gym Hero said that. Comparisons are the thief of joy. And that's so true. Comparisons are the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to others. Make sure you're happy. As long as you're 100% content and happy, you're making what you need to make. Hans said, congrats. I genuinely hope you succeed. I quit my job this summer to start my own consulting business and have been looking at dabbling in other things. It's kind of terrifying, but also super exciting. Absolutely. And that's the exciting part, right? Because it's the unknown. You don't know how things are going to turn out. And it's exciting, right? I mean, it's if you can afford to do it, and you're not putting like you or your family or anyone in hardships, I think it's always worth taking those chances. I've taken multiple chances in my life. I've failed at things in my life. I've lost tons of money at things. I've also had a lot of success in my life. And so I'm just one of those people who I'm not risk adverse at all. Like I take risks. I go all at something. I don't look back. If it doesn't turn out, I don't like second guess it or regret it. That's how I'm gonna be until the day I die. It just is what it is. I'm a risk taker, and I will always be chasing. I'll always be striving for happiness over money or stability or anything like that. That's just the way I am. I think your content would be greatly improved if you cut down on the howevers. I'm sure it's very difficult and hard to not get nervous, and you probably don't realize it. It's not about being nervous or anything like that. It's more about not wanting to like give 100% answers on like what you should do. It's like, saying, hey, this could happen. However, this could happen. It's a way to like, kind of, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to like give like 100% sure thing. Like, okay, this is it. Like, I always want to give it, well, however, this could happen or you could do this. Like, but I know what you're saying. I'll try to work in different vocabulary when I do that. But yeah, I struggle with wanting to give absolute answers, like absolutes, right? And that's why there's a lot of howevers, I think. Let's see. I answered that already. SGR. It was a in-home home improvement sales job. There's never any quittonomics. Are you kidding me? Yeah, then lawn mowing. Yeah, so I had a lawn care and landscaping company for over 10 years, 12 years of my life. So that's I've always been in the service-based industry. I've had a couple other different little companies, like a home cleaning, maid, power washing company, and then now I'm part owner in some other service-based businesses. With the service industry, once you've kind of done it for a while and you kind of mastered the tricks of the trade, it's very easy to take that same structure and kind of do any type of service, based business. As long as you have someone with the expertise in that industry, you can kind of start up and get moving pretty quickly, right? Like it's, because you don't need products, you don't need to like go through like, finding suppliers and sourcing and all that. You literally just need the tools to do the job. And you need to understand how to market and how to start, growing the business. I mean, I can set up a business in a day. Like I can go get an LLC, I can get my EIN, I can get a insurance, I can get a business bank account set up. I can do all that in like a day. Like a business can be started in a day, and then everything else can get put in place very quickly when you know what you're doing, when you've done it multiple times. And so, like it's kind of just plug and play once you've kind of done it once, and you've done it for a while, and you've seen what works and what doesn't. Appreciate that, Minty Collector. I appreciate the positive reinforcement. Class act. I think when something becomes your job, whether you like it at a base level or not, there will come times when it's not enjoyable. That's what separates jobs from hobbies. I agree with that. You're always going to have times where you have to push through. It's just, and trust me, I know that. It's just there comes a time where it's all not enjoyable and it's all negative, and there's very little of any enjoyment left, and that's when it's kind of time to find something else where you at least get some enjoyment out of, right? I'm ready for the 2024 bull market crypto. Hey, look, not financial advice, not stock and crypto trading advice. However, there is talks right now, and it's very close to a deal where they are going to have a Bitcoin ETF. If they put a Bitcoin ETF onto the market that can be invested in by everyday people who don't want to deal with going and getting a crypto wallet and doing all that, you're going to see some movement. You're going to see some. I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm not going to tell him what to do, but just look into it. Be ready for it. Do your research. It might be worth making some plays. Making some bets on that, because that's going to be a big deal, because ETFs can get picked up and put into, you can get options on them to invest them in retirement funds, IRAs and Roth IRAs. So like once that happens, there could be a lot of new money moving into Bitcoin assets, and that could that could be a big deal for crypto. So yeah, pay attention to that. Pay attention. That's some recent news. I think I just heard about yesterday or today, last night. Do you think you will open up any other TCGs? Yeah, we can do that. Wouldn't mind opening some Yu-Gi-Oh. One Piece we can get into. I could always open some Lorcana because I know everyone loves Lorcana. I'm not super wild about it, but I'll open it if people want to see it. Magic, whatever we want to do. Whatever we want to do, we'll have some fun. That's going to be that is going to be the sentiment going forward through the end of this year. We're going to have some fun. We're just going to have some fun and enjoy ourselves here. Risen Sparrow, what's up, man? I appreciate it, brother. I'm restarting to the beginning of the stream. If title is not clickbait, congrats. Yeah, it's not clickbait, man. Not clickbait. Evo me. Hell yeah, my man. About to make millions. I don't know about that. That'd be crazy. I don't know about all that, but we're going to have some fun. Why do sales for anyone but yourself, though? I completely get you. Man. So I've looked into it. It's there's quite a bit that goes into running those style companies. Like you need a lot of capital. There's a lot that can go wrong. You need a lot of insurance, and even when you have insurance, things can. So I understand why people work in sales, especially in the construction industry. It's a lot harder to get a company off the ground and really cash flowing and kind of past that risk level where you can really get taken out and go under. So it can make sense to go. So if you can go make $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 a year just working for a company at zero risk to yourself, it can make a lot of sense. Like, trust me, I'm 100%, serial entrepreneur. I am always looking for the angles of how I can do something myself. Hey, I'll work here, I'll learn these skills, and then I'll take that and put my own spin on and do it for myself and make more money and work less hours. However, there's reasons for both, right? A lot easier. There's a lot less time commitment, a lot less risk. You don't need the money, and you can just kind of no risk. You show up to work and get paid a good living. So I see it both ways. I see it both. I know people who have tried starting their own companies in the same industries I've been a part of, and they've went bankrupt, like not just their company, but personally. And so there's always, two sides to every story. There it is. Time to start flipping Lorcana now. I mean, I guess so. I've been staying out of it as long as I can, but who knows? Maybe it'll come to that. Maybe it will come to that. Can't wait for 2 videos a day. I don't know if we're gonna get to that point. You never know, though. You never know. You've got the voice of an RV salesman. No wonder you were a good salesman, dude. I actually did work at a car dealership, very, very short time. It was a Jaguar Land Rover dealership for like 3 months. Hated that. Not a car salesman. Because I'm not fake. I mean, you guys know it. I'm not fake. Like I don't have the, I don't do all the fake salesman tricks and all the different, I'm just honest with people. Right. And I try to explain things to people in terms they understand and make it make sense. Right. And normally, usually I can do that pretty well. And I think that's maybe why I was, decent, pretty good, at what I did is because people, I guess, trust what I say and trust how I put it. And I'm able to speak to people in their own language and put it in ways they understand where it's not fake. And so, yeah, but no, definitely don't like the whole car sales culture. It's that's a whole different world. And yeah, it's not as slimy and schemy as like, you see in like the movies with the whole used car sale stuff, but it's still got its quirks in that industry as well. Ray Quasar Ray, what's good, man? Just started watching your content. Awesome stuff. Oh, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. There's gonna be a lot more coming, so appreciate you being here. And we thought Dan liked to mow lawns. Man, I have mowed more lawns in my life than Dan's ever gonna mow in his. I'll tell you that right now. At one point, we had about 135 lawns a week we were doing, on top of all of the maintenance work and all of the landscaping work and everything like that. So yeah, I've mowed a lot of lawns in my life. Trust me. especially when people would call off, right? Even when I started growing and started hiring people, then people would call off or quit. And guess who'd be out there mowing? Me. Joel, I quit my job in healthcare to pursue a woodworking business. Held it off because I was scared. But once I finally do it, I've been so busy with jobs. That's awesome, Joel. See, there you go, man. I love hearing stuff like that. Congrats. Always love hearing people being successful, doing their own thing. Yes, Dylan, I got a very decent emergency fund, but I can't see ever dipping into it type thing. More than enough cash flow to continue to live the same exact lifestyle we're living. It's just less money put into investments each month. That's all. Careful what you shill now. Your full-time selling could become dangerous. I don't shill anything. Literally, here's the funny thing. Every single thing that I say in my videos, I do myself. Like, I'm not, what did people tell me? I play a character. One, I got told I play a character, or two, I don't believe in what I'm saying. Every single thing I say, I actually believe in. Now, some people can say I'm stupid, or that say that I don't know what I'm talking about, or say that I'm wrong. That's fine. Like, we can have different opinions. But one thing you can't say about me is that I'm not authentic. You can't say that I'm not real and that I don't actually do everything that I talk about and believe in what I say. That's one thing you can't say. Now, look, you can call me an idiot. You can call me stupid. You can say I don't know what I'm talking about. You can say I'm wrong. That's fine. That's all fine and good. We can agree on that if time comes where I end up being wrong. But I definitely would never talk about something or give an opinion that I don't 100% believe in or do myself. So you at least know you got that from me. Finally gonna live the good life. No, I'm almost giving up the good life for the attempt at living the dream. What's the first thing you're looking at investing in? Any sneak peeks? The first thing? I mean, invested in a lot of stuff. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Michael? I don't know. Like, just continue the same thing I've always done. It's funny too, seeing people come around to it more and more. For anyone new, I've seen a couple people say they're new. For anyone new to the space, if you were not here a year and a half or so ago when my channel started, back in early 2022, modern sealed investing, it was not accepted like it is now. Contrary to what you see now, I went through some knockdown, drag out debates on my channel, on a lot of other YouTubers' channels, pushing my thoughts on modern sealed product. And guess what? You had multiple, I'm not going to name any names, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but there were multiple content creators that literally said word for word, modern sealed product is not investable. Do not invest in this stuff. You won't make money. And it's not until recently where everyone's finally coming around to it. They're finally seeing it. And you even have Catch 'em All Collectibles Dan talking about, how I was watching one of his live streams and he was saying how, modern sealed product is one of the few things that he is investing in for long term, like 5+ years. Everything else he's selling and flipping. I mean, you're even having people like that just look around. Anyone doing this big is all investing in sealed product. It wasn't always that way. A lot of big guys always did, but it was when I started this, it was, I struggled to say demonized. It wasn't like demonized, but it was very frowned upon. Like, most people did not believe in it and did not think it would work. And so, yeah, it's definitely, I'm not saying it was like I had some big part in it, but I think I had a little something to do with it, at least in this little investing space we have. I mean, bringing people's minds around to it. I mean, I've had people reach out and say, I got you wrong, Alex, in the beginning. And the more I look into it, yeah, it does seem to be, working. It does seem to be a lot more proven route. And that's awesome. That's all I ever wanted. Like, I did not, contrary to what a lot of people think, I'm not here to start drama. Like, I never wanted to start these big, giant drag out fights with people. All I ever wanted to do was get my ideas out about the strategies I had with investing in this product, because they were different. They were kind of counter to a lot of the kind of rhetoric I saw on a lot of the online platforms that I got banned from and some of the YouTube channels. that, you know, a lot of modern was always talked down on. And it was like seen as like an entry level play. And like, once you get more involved in the hobby, you'll start to move back to the real investments, right? The vintage and the more rare and scarce, and the Japanese exclusives, the worried about the print runs and how they were released, how many were released, and worried about all these real niche cards. And that was like seen as like what real Pokemon investors did. But like the modern side of things, I was saying, hey, everyone can do this. There's not even enough of that vintage or that real scarce niche stuff to go around. Not even everyone knows about that. Not everyone can afford that. But guess what? Everyone can almost afford to buy Modern Seal when it comes out of the gate. And here's the track record. And I really try to push that because anyone could do it, right? And you didn't have to be this Pokemon expert. You didn't have to spend hours of time researching. And so sorry for that little tangent, but like, it's nice to see it's finally getting, like, I guess, the respect it deserves, and people are doing well with it. And I like seeing it. I like seeing people finally come around to the idea that, hey, this Modern Seal stuff, it might be a good idea to get some. Fat Belly's right. I'm going to be scrutinizing what you're pumping now. I'm not pumping anything. I'm pumping having fun in the hobby. I'll pump that till the day I die. How about that? I'm wanting to sell Pokemon full time, but I can't seem to get it off the ground. How do you go about starting and getting distributors, and how much money would it take for a distributor to even care? Everyone I talk to still says you can't get a distributor without having a physical location. So if you're trying to buy and sell full time, you got to do it with singles. Unless you're going to be get a full going, you know, local game store, card shop, and you're going to get a physical location and get distributors to start picking you up. You can do that, but you know, singles. It's sourcing singles, collections, lots, even just regular singles by the one at a time. You know, being able to be good at pre-grading them, grading them, you know, finding ones with good margins and flipping them. I talked about this in Discord. I literally at Collecticon bought a $2 reverse holo. Ready for this? Pokemon Go Charizard. Everyone loves that set. It was a $2 reverse holo Pokemon Go Charizard. Graded a 10. Listed it for, there was none on the market, so I listed it for $200. It just sold for $140. Like, just little stuff like that you can find little cutouts in the market to do that. My Silver Dialga just sold. So congrats to who bought it, you know, add it to their collection. We came to an agreement on that. I'm not going to share the amount, but it was an amazing gain on that. And so the margins you can make in the single cards, they're going to be a lot higher than what you can make in sealed product, and you can't get sealed product unless you have a store. And then also, like, what I would say is try to look outside the box, right? Everyone is trying to race to the bottom with each new set that comes out. And the problem is the people who have distribution or who get products early, or who have, you know, like your sweetheart deals with grading companies, they're going to get their cards graded quicker and get them back quicker and be first to market. And sometimes if you're slow to the, you know, slow off the draw, and you get to the market not as fast, you won't make the margins. And sometimes you'll even get, especially if you get nines, it'll get to the point where you're losing money. And so, you know, what I do, I do things a little differently, because I'm not trying to like make the bulk of all my money in the just buying and selling. But I look outside the box. I look at cards that the margins are, you know, 10x plus on, where, you know, if I get the grades I want, that I'm going to make a large margin. Other people go for volume. You know, you can try to make smaller margins where people are making, you know, $10, $20, $30, $40 a card, but they're doing it hundreds of times, and they're getting hundreds of the same single, and they're just trying to, you know, rinse and repeat as many times as possible, and tons of cash flow, and you know, cycle through their inventory multiple times throughout the year. So there's just different ways to do it. Or you can go and try to swing for the fences and hit more of the home runs because you need less of them. And so yeah, I mean, there's just different ways to go about it. So that's what I would say, is stick to singles until you get a game store. Thoughts on college and the school system? It sucks. It's absolutely broken. That's my thoughts. Me and my wife don't have kids. If I did, I'd homeschool them and only send them to college if they knew exactly what they wanted to do and that exact thing needed a college degree. Otherwise, yeah, completely broken here in the States. Absolutely. You should outsource your video production and editing if you don't already. Most streamers I know claim to have benefited greatly from doing that. Yeah, I mean, the issue is that's expensive, and you have to be large enough, you know, on here to really make enough to make that worth it. I mean, I don't think I could pay someone I probably wouldn't even come out ahead. I don't even think I make enough with everything I do to be able to pay someone monthly to do that with all my videos. And so, yeah, either I need to, that's another thing I need to do. Well, I have more time. I need to start learning how to edit and all that stuff to make the videos a little better until I can afford to pay someone to do that. So, and it's when I say afford, like, yeah, I could probably afford it, but I really want to try and keep the YouTube business, like everything that engulfs the Nostalgianomics brand in the business. So I don't want to like bring outside money to like fund the channel and stuff. And so that's where I'm working with now. Like once there's enough income coming in from this where I can throw all that, even if I'm making $0, as long as I'm making enough to be able to keep the channel, like the content better and pay someone, I'd be fine with that. I'm not really a fan of bringing outside money to fund from like other businesses or other sources of income to fund another business. Each business should stand on its own, in my opinion. So, because if not, you'll have one business kind of going under, and your cash flow and your profits from your other businesses will be trying to fund that failing one, and you can get in real trouble with that way. So, that's kind of my advice for anything out there. If you have a business that's failing and it needs money from elsewhere, it might be time to close down and open up something else, because you can't continue to pour money into a failing company. And obviously YouTube can never be failing because it's just time and effort I put in, but I just don't want to continue to put in outside, sources of revenue into this. My buddy worked at a sales company since high school until recently when they downsized. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that. I'm looking at Japanese XY full arts. Some of them are pretty cheap compared to the English in the same card, better textures. Yeah. Guys, anyone who's new to the hobby, Japanese was always cheaper than English. Always. Go back to base set. Go back to anything you want. Almost every single set, it was cheaper than English. This is a new phenomenon. This is why everyone always asks me, Alex, why don't you jump into Japanese? I don't believe in it. I just don't personally believe in it. Could I be wrong? Of course I can be wrong, right? But when I was talking in, E4 back in the day, or on different YouTubers channels back in the day, saying, hey, this vintage, during the boom, I was saying the vintage thing's over. Like, you need to be jumping out of vintage. Vintage is over and putting your money into the newest modern sealed sets as they come out. That's the play. I got ridiculed for that left and right and called an idiot countless times. And we've seen how that turned out, right? And so, am I a genius? No, but I'm willing to go to trust my own gut and go off my bets. And when I see something, I trust myself. And if it plays out, great. If not, then I was wrong. But I can't jump on a bandwagon just because people are making money in it, because I don't want to be the dumb money coming in too late. It's kind of like when you see a stock chart going up, up, and up, and up, and then you see people jumping in here because they're like, oh, it's really going. And that's usually when it starts to fall off and crash. I don't want to be the dumb money coming in too late. Of course, Japanese is always going to be a thing. It's where the Pokemon started. However, it's still being pumped up by a lot of the bandwagon fans, right? Everyone who jumped on because the money, because the crazy gains were there, the same way English was in 2020, 2021. I still see us coming down from that high back to more normalized levels where you can get Japanese booster boxes out of the gate for around what the stores get them for. Back to where the cards are actually not as expensive as English again, because English was always the higher, any card in any set in the same grade, Japanese or English usually was always higher. Now, there's always those Japanese exclusive promos and, Japanese cards that like they had it in the set where English didn't have that card in their set. All those are great plays. I get it. They're exclusives. However, when English and Japanese have the same as that card, it wasn't like this until recently, where Japanese was selling for more than English. So I'm still a believer in English. Don't like follow me based on what I'm saying. Make your own decisions for yourself. It's just, that's why I'm not jumping on the Japanese bandwagon. And also I personally I don't like it as much. And you're saying, well, Alex, you need to try it. I did. Ray, if Ray's in the chat, I'm Shining Collectibles. At his table at Collecticon, I bought a Japanese box from him. We ripped it right there at his table. I held the cards in my hand. I looked at them all. I didn't get the same feeling pulling those as I do opening an English box. Like, I know I joke about it all the time, saying, "Oh, I can't read it." That's just really how I'm at. They don't do it for me. And I know, but for other people, they do it for them, and they like Japanese more, and that's great. It's just, I think there's still a lot of people that are kind of still on the bandwagon that are starting to hop off slowly but surely. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more normalized Japanese product coming into the future. Now, still might be a little while, 6 months, a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. But I do see into probably 2024, 2025 time, I think it's going to go back to more normalized levels where English really starts to pick up again. But that's just me. We'll see. We'll see. You can call me stupid. You know how many times I was called stupid telling people to invest in modern sealed over vintage? You wonder how? Oh man, I could show you some threads. It's hilarious. Thoughts on Rudy's huge investment on Scarlet and Violet base, Paldea, and Obsidian Flames? Guys, here's the thing. It's kind of like I talk about with the PCTBs. You know how if you buy like a PCTB case, you can sell 3 of them out of the gate and keep 1 for free. Like, I was selling my 151 ETBs. I was selling them for like $115, $120 on TCG Player. And then, so I sell 3 of them, right? And make like 345 up to 360, somewhere in there for 3. And then after fees and shipping, you still have a profit on that case and you can keep 1 of the ETBs for free. So Rudy just does that on an extremely high level, right? He can buy hundreds of cases, right? He sells off a majority of them to all of his Patreons and he still makes money, some money from them. He makes a bunch of money on the Patreon monthly fees. And then he basically keeps all those as investments at basically $0 cost to him, 0 cost basis. And that's why Rudy can do those things, right? He can put a $100,000, $200,000 position away because he's making so much money on selling the product and on the Patreon monthly where he promotes the product, where it's basically a zero cost game for him. And that's how he's able to get so wealthy, is because he's able to do that. Rudy's not taking $100,000, $200,000 out of his pocket every single set and putting it away without making any income first. So that's kind of what I talk about with like investing in the booster boxes, right? If you can afford to buy a case or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 cases, as the prices rise, you can sell off those cases and get to where you're at $0 in that product and maybe make some profit, and then keep the rest of the long-term investment past that 3, 4, 5 year mark at 0 cost to you, zero risk. And that's what Rudy does. So yeah, I mean, he's got no risk, right? It can go to 0. He doesn't care. I mean, he cares, but it's not going to like affect his life. What is going to change your day-to-day now? Are you employing yourself in this industry full-time? I'm very interested in your approach now that it is your top focus. Day-to-day change, like I said, a lot more focus on content. Probably going to take the TikTok, Instagram, and obviously this channel a little more seriously. Probably see more shorts and things like that. Yeah, definitely a lot more emphasis on sourcing, trying to, source collections, lots. Anyone's out there is selling, I'm buying. Yeah, grading a lot more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just putting more time into the thing, and I'll probably put a little more effort into some of the other businesses I'm in just to see if I can help that get a little more income too. And and I've talked to this about other people in the industry that are full-time. I'm much more likely to, like, if I ever do this, like decide to stay full-time, I want it to be more of a hybrid. I don't want to be 100% dependent on the sales. And so, I want it to be a hybrid of kind of everything. Maybe I'll start live streaming, more. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll play games, or we'll just chat, or we'll do pack openings, whatever. So I want that to be a part of it. Obviously the YouTube, thing. And if there's any more companies that, want to, partner and things like that. And then obviously there is the sales side. Then obviously there's like, there's like a bunch of different sides you can have all in the same space, to where you can have little chunks of income coming from all of it. Instead of just be dependent on the full-time sales, which I don't want to be, because I've seen the numbers some of these guys do, and anyone making a large amount of money, like more than, 40, 50, 60 grand a year selling Pokemon, they're doing massive quantities. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that kind of volume. I don't want to be grading hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cards a month. I don't want to be shipping up, to millions of orders all the time. I just don't want to do that. I'd rather go after more. I'd rather be more selective, go after more of the home run plays, and then make more of the consistent income with all the other sources. And so, yeah, it's just going to be putting more time into all the other areas of this whole social media Pokemon thing. What's your yearly revenue on Pokemon sales? Well, it's been almost nothing after 2021, right? I mean, I sold off everything, and then got back into it. I sell stuff. I've been selling stuff off like periodically, but mostly I I buy and hold. I buy and hold. Like I had a job. I had income. I think old card shop, he was like astonished when he asked like how much I sold. And I was like, I think it was like May. And I was like, I haven't sold a single item this year. He about lost his mind because like, I just didn't sell. Now, in the past, like 30 or 45 days since I really started to pick up sales, I think I'm getting close to like, I don't know, $12,000-$13,000 in total sales. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Now I'm taking it more serious. I think it'll probably look revenue. I wouldn't be surprised to see the revenue get into like the mid hundreds. If I, because if I'm doing probably 10, yeah, at least 10 plus a month in sales. I'm hoping to do, with the amount of cards I'm consistently grading and inventory I'm getting in. So yeah, I'd say in like the mid hundred range in revenue, what I'm hoping for. You don't look a day over 38. I hate you, man. I'm 33. Nick said, I'll do that sales job. I'm sure you could get one, man. Sure you could get one. Risen Sparrow, you'd be very disappointed, man. You know what? On vacation, I'm gonna show that video next time. On vacation, my wife still had like a little video in her phone from kind of what the closet used to look like when I had a lot of my older stuff. I'll show that video one time, but like I said, I sold off everything. Every bit of thing I had, like 95% of everything I owned, I sold off. So everything I've built back up has been very investment focused. So it's a lot of cardboard, very little collection, right? I mean, I have the first edition PSA 9 base set collection, the Shadowless base set first edition collection, everything but the Charizard. And I have, I've got some modern 10s and I've got some other random cards and boxes, but like nothing like major. I don't have like the grails or anything that you see other people have. So I think you'd be pretty disappointed, but yeah, I can show you some stuff I got sometime. Shining cards and collectibles. Great. So you're telling me we're getting more Alex. Yeah. Hey man, you don't have to watch any of it, bro. I appreciate you being here for this one though, Ray. Congrats, man. Everyone's dreaming to pursue something they love doing. Keep up the great work. I'm going to try. I am going to try. Ponga's in the house. What's up, man? Another PokeTuber that went full time with a sugar mama. That's what I'm doing. Honestly though, our bills are really low. I actually have enough income coming in still to pay our bills without her if I needed to. So it's not entirely true. I still have sources of income coming in. I'm not broke here. Just joined the chat, but it is not the worst moment to move to a full-time Pokemon job. It is not the worst. Oh, I think you were gonna say it is the worst. I see in Europe many resellers struggling with inventories, buyer hit by inflation, debt, and buyer fatigue. So I think you say it is the worst time. Yeah, I mean, I could have picked a worse time probably, right? But honestly, I don't know if it's just the slabs that I have been getting. My stuff's been moving. So I've been getting some PSA orders moving back. Between like my whole like eBay, I was moving in close to like 200 items listed. I'm trying to get my items up. I'm all the way down in like the 50s of like total items listed now. Stuff's been flying off the shelves. I mean, so I don't know if other people aren't having the same situation going on, but I mean, today I shipped out another 6 orders today. Like every day I have like, I don't know, 3 to 8, 9 orders to ship out every single day. So stuff's for me has been selling. Like I said, I'm very selective. I don't go after, I stick to popular species. I stick to, going for more of the home run type stuff. I don't have a giant quantity. So if I had like 400, 500, 600 plus listings, I probably would have a lot more dead inventory, but I don't have a whole lot of dead inventory. I mean, I have very little. So I think it just depends on what you go after. Did you ever use the line from Tommy Boy? You can get a good look at T-Bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass. But wouldn't you rather take a butcher's word for it? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, I appreciate it though, man. Ponga. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, thanks for always supporting it. Guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not yet. So does this mean you're joining the cabal? Absolutely not. I will never join the cabal. They try to get me to join. They try to initiate me. I thought I could initiate change from the inside out, and it is not possible. The cabal is set in their ways, and they do not want to be changed. So no, I will not be joining any cabals. We're sticking in our own lane here, people. Quitting investment. You heard it here, folks. Going to zero. We're not quitting anything. We are not quitting anything. Hey, thanks a lot, Nick. What's up, man? How you doing? How much money do you make off Pokemon? Well, I mean, not much yet. I guess in this past month and a half since I really started jumping into it. Well, I mean, the Dialga made me a whole bunch because I only paid $200 for that card. And then I've had some other good hits, mostly not like, I mean, I don't know. I've probably made a few thousand in the past like month and a half off the singles, just the singles and stuff after grading fees and sourcing costs and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not, I mean, like I say, I'm probably like 11, 12, 13,000 in total sales. If I take into like eBay, Instagram, just straight through PayPal, Venmo, all that stuff. And then, profit wise, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000 probably, something like that. But again, it's going to be growing now. So, I mean, it really just depends on, how things are moving, how well, PSA is. It's always a risk. What kind of grades you get back from them, things like that. Facts. I'd love to sit at a desk for $150K. Well, I wasn't sitting at a desk though. I was not sitting at a desk. One day you'll have to liquidate them and it will only benefit you to have a well-reviewed store. My store is already pretty decent. I mean, I've always been top rated. I think I'm getting close to like 1,000 star now. Like, always had 100% positive feedback, all that. So I've always been able to sell, because I sold a lot of stuff back before 2021. Like I was pretty deep into it, buying and selling a lot of collections and lots and grading and all of that. So I've been at it a long time. And so, yeah, I get what you're saying. It definitely makes sense for a lot of people to get started, like, selling so that when the time comes when they do want to start selling their investments that they've never sold before, it can be sort of a shock. But yeah, I've been doing this for a little bit now. The only great part about my job is being protected by a union and having freedom to tell someone who's bothering you to shove off. Yeah, that's funny. You live in Tornado Alley, right? What happens in your Pokemon business if your house gets wiped out? All the Pokemon stuff is the investment stuff is in the basement, back where all the concrete is, and it's in storage tubs. But yeah, I guess a natural disaster could screw me. But again, like I'd probably say it's been moving up, right? It's been moving up the amount of my net worth in Pokemon. It's probably up to maybe 20-25% of my total net worth now, which is kind of crazy. It's a lot. But no, I mean, it would hurt. It'd be a blow. It would set us back in life, but it wouldn't destroy our life, right? Like a lot of my money is still in the stock market. A lot of, we have obviously the equity in our house. I have cash in accounts and things like that. So it would hurt, but it wouldn't like cripple me in any fashion. House insurance would cover some or maybe, but yeah, I don't have collectibles insurance. I mean, I probably need to start looking into getting that the level I'm getting up to now. So we'll see. I live on the wild side. I don't think about you guys already know me. I just don't look at the negatives, and maybe that's probably a weakness of mine. But I look at the positives. Like when I go into something new like this, I look at the positives. I don't think about the negatives. Like I don't think about natural disasters. I'm just looking at the positives. Like, so I don't spend a lot of time worrying about life or what can happen in life. I stick to my path. I make my choices and I don't look back. Even 150K salary, you will find it's never enough. I mean, again, it just comes to what you need. Like where we're at in Missouri, with what I was making, my wife was making, we pretty much could do whatever we wanted. I mean, we're not buying yachts and Lambos, but I literally could have afforded a Lamborghini, right? Like if I wanted to make a $4,000 a month payment, it wouldn't have been an issue. But I mean, I have pretty, I guess, conservative tastes. I don't need a whole lot. So, I mean, where I'm at, like that amount of money, it was it was more than enough than we needed. We never had to think about what our bills were. We never had to worry about what we wanted to eat or what we wanted to do for a weekend or what kind of vacation we wanted to take. It was just kind of do whatever you want, type thing. So in those terms, I mean, I think it was well more than enough. But again, someone else maybe living in like a city or, as a high dollar lifestyle, that might not be enough. Like I said, it's all just, everyone's got different needs. Everyone's got different needs in life, different wants, different things they enjoy. To get out of debt, you need to never spend any money on discretionary items. No fast food, no movies, no cable, no coffee. Yeah, and we did that. Like I did that back when I was like 25, 26, somewhere in there. I discovered Dave Ramsey and we got like gung-ho about it. And in like 2 years, I paid off everything in my business. I paid off like my truck, all my equipment. We paid off our student loans. We paid off our cars all in a matter of like 2.5 years. We were like, so I've been debt free for like, 8 years of my life now, or 7 years. We haven't had debt in a long time. And then when I sold off my Pokemon stuff, we did have some debt that we built up because it was like, I forget why, low interest, zero interest, doing updates to the house type stuff. I can't remember everything we had, but I paid that off with Pokemon. But it was stuff where I had the cash in the bank, or I had investments, or I was putting money into Pokemon, and I just didn't want to pay the stuff off with zero interest or low interest. Yeah, I mean, we're 100% debt free now, so that's another reason why this isn't as big of a deal for me to not have a quote unquote job. People you surround yourself with is everything. Let's repeat that. The people you surround yourself with is everything in life, in this hobby, in whatever you do for work, everything. 100% agree. Guys, that is the most true statement in the world. I promise you that will ring true. You won't even understand it's true until you're in the moment where it's affecting you, and you're going to be like, wow, that's what's holding me back. The people around me. Mortgage is going to take time, and wife student loans. After that, we are chilling. Absolutely. I have friends that make good money and are unhappy because they can't make a relationship work to save their lives. Yeah, that's another thing. My job, I was working like all nights, weekends, all the time. I'd be getting home at like 9 o'clock at night, working all day on Saturdays and Sundays, and it just wasn't worth it. It's not worth it, right? It's just, there's more important things. Like my marriage is more important. Just my own sanity, my own enjoyment in life is more important than having a bunch of money to put away in the bank. And then there's that part of you that's thinking, if I could only make this work though for like 8, 9, 10 years, we'll be able to stack enough money away where we'll have, just live off the dividends and, take a certain percentage out each year and be able to live on that for retirement. Yeah, that's always goes through your mind. But then, along the way, you see how far off that is. And some people can do it. A lot of our parents and grandparents put up with things they hated in their lives, and they provided for their families, and they made it through, and they had comfortable retirements, and their families were set up. But, it's not something I wanted to do at this portion of my life. I feel like, like I said, I'm 33. I still got some time to make some moves. If we start closing in my late 30s and I still haven't got anything really moving yet, or nothing's really been working, then maybe I'll, go sell out for the next 10 years and go make some big money and really work my ass off and put enough money away and have a nest egg. And because I have the income potential. Like I can go get a similar job to that. There's no shortage of those. I'm good at it, and I can make a large amount of money doing that. And so I know I have that in my back pocket. Like I can always go do that if I have to. But for right now, it's just, I want to try other things. What ETB should I be buying today? You're the wrong channel. I'm not an ETB guy. They were great back in XY and Sun and Moon, and even early Sword and Shield. Now they're the most mass printed items. They get the biggest reprints. They've been performing very poorly ever since like the mid Sword and Shield and on. If you're talking PC ETBs, they're a little better. They perform a little worse than booster boxes, and they're a little less liquid, but they're not bad either if you can get them at retail price and not buy them like at an inflated value in the secondary market. But I'm still, booster box is king for me. Booster box is king. Absolutely. You'll never be happy in life if you compare yourself to people who are richer, stronger, smarter. Yeah, there's always a bigger fish. There's always going to be a bigger fish. You gotta get to a point where you're happy and you enjoy life, and whatever you're doing is not stressing you out. And but again, you still have to be making enough to be able to support your lifestyle, to be able to not be dependent on others, to be able to pay your bills and put money away and things like that. So there's always like a happy medium. But yeah, absolutely. Don't, you know, look, I've driven Lamborghinis, I've driven a Ferrari, driven a McLaren. They're cool. It'd be awesome to own. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm not trying to be one of those guys. It'd be awesome. But when I look up like the sacrifice, like to own something like that, like then I'm thinking, well, it's not really worth it for me. Like it doesn't do enough for me. Like, what am I going to do? Keep it in my garage most of the time, take it out a couple of days a week, look cool at a stoplight, look cool driving, speed around, probably get a bunch of tickets, cost you more money. Like, I just look at things like that. I'm like, it's cool, but it's just, I don't know if it's really, I don't think it's really realistic for what I'm trying to do in life, I guess. If I ever get to that point where money's not an issue at all, then heck yeah, I'm going to have a Lamborghini in the garage. But just realistically, like to have a lifestyle I enjoy and it's comfortable, it's not necessary. You can't make money in Pokemon actively. You don't have an advantage, like leveraging bots, reselling memberships, and or access to distro. You definitely can with singles and grading for sure, though. You definitely can. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do well in Pokemon. Skippy FX, what's up, man? I haven't talked to you in forever. True balance. Many don't realize earning more usually leads to spending more, and the happiness doesn't always follow. Joy is often found with less money and more time with what you love. Absolutely. Man, that is profound right there. So true. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Thanks for sharing that. That's 100% true. And you don't realize it. Everyone who and I was one of those people, like anyone who hasn't had a job making that level of money, everyone thinks, if only I could make that, then I'd be happy. They aren't. Those guys are crazy. I'd be happy with it. I was that person. Didn't work. Didn't do it for me. Didn't do it. Mike said, I quit my job 2 months ago because of the direction of the company and I was going. I didn't agree with it. I agree. I was going through the same thing. Was there just under 10 years. Took me the last 18 months to finally quit. Man, I hope you are happy and enjoying what you're doing now. I'm sorry to hear that. 10 years to put in and leave. That sucks, bro. That sucks. And ignore that however comment, Alex. People can be too critical about this, how to say things. Just be yourself. We're thankful for the content. Yeah, I get it. Playing catch up, but this will be an interesting one. Yeah. Green Shiz, what's up, man? It's not clickbait, man, at least for the time being. I definitely didn't plan on jumping in full time. I didn't have all my ducks in a row and ready, but that's where we found ourselves. So we're going to make the best of it. See what happens. Hopefully we can get better quality when recording your desktop for videos. Gets really blurry. Yeah, it's StreamYard. I actually got OBS set up on my laptop because I need to get a new PC. My processor doesn't work, and Streamlabs OBS will not cooperate with my processor on this computer, which is only like 7 years old. This computer, it's got like a solid state hard drive. It's actually still a nice PC, but OBS and Streamlabs, the new stuff, the new updates won't work. And so I'm going to be getting a new PC, but until then I do have my laptop, and I am going to try to do a stream on that and see how that works out, because that does have OBS and that will have 1080p quality, and it should be a lot smoother, because Streamlabs, StreamYard, it's great for live streams. Like right now, it's pretty good. As soon as I try to record on here, it's terrible. The quality goes in and out. So I'm with you. I am going to get that fixed. I've been working on that. Oh, the comment. Selling platforms are streaming are leaning towards live shopping. Yes, they are. If you have a crap camera or 4G internet, you already trailing. Yeah, it's true. 100%. Yo, the silver lining, one of the best articulated YouTubers on this platform. Don't listen to the haters, man. Yo, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't think we have a lot of haters here today, though. That however thing, that was just a realistic critique. I don't consider that guy being a hater. There's definitely haters out there, but I don't see any of them here today. Yeah, Mike, I'm glad you got out of that situation, man. Good for you. Worst thing about the job is the people are terrible. Why is that? That is so true. It's always the case. Everywhere you go, I don't get it. And yeah, I 100% agree with you there. Which makes no sense. It's like I always think about like being in certain situations. Like, if I was running this company, if I owned this company, why would I be in a pissed off mood or always angry or always trying to, ruin other people's days all the time? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Nostalgianomics, at what price point do booster boxes become less liquid? You said in the past, I never said in the past 175 to 200. I've always said in the $300 to $500 range. $300 to $500 is for some reason the same thing with slabs. It's just when most consumers, there's less people that are willing to pay or can even pay that much for a single item, a single piece of cardboard or plastic to put on a shelf. Anything under that usually moves really well. But it's not that they're not liquid. I mean, you can go to XY Sun and Moon right now. I mean, even Evolving Skies, there's multiple that sell every day, week, month. They're still liquid. The cards, I mean, it's just there's less, right? It's not something where you can just throw at auction and you're basically getting market price. Whereas, if you threw $150 item at auction, if it's like a popular, product or a popular Pokemon, or usually you're going to get like within 10% or so of what the buy it now price is. So that's like real liquid. Whereas like, once you get up to the higher dollar points, that's where you can see those crazy margins where, someone might get a buy it now for 500. You might auction it and get 300. And you're like, what the heck's going on here? And then people see those sales and they're thinking, well, maybe that buy it now one was a fake sale. Most of the time it's not a fake sale. It's just, when you throw illiquid items at the will of the market, bad things happen. Bad things happen. But on the flip side of that though, really liquid items can be great to auction. Like if you need to free up capital, if you need, trying to free up inventory, get money in the bank, you can throw real liquid stuff at auction. I mean, recently I auctioned up off a bunch of my Crown Zenith inventory. I had a bunch of Crown Zenith 10s. I had a bunch of the gold cards, and I just wanted to get them off because the reprint's coming. And I know the reprint is probably going to drop a lot of the single prices the same way Silver Tempest and Lost Origin did to those cards. And so I was like, look, I'm just going to dump these at auction. Even if I get within 10% or so of what the last sold was, I'm good because I think they're going to drop a lot more than that. And so for the time being, at least, and I didn't want to be sitting on them for a long time. And so I threw those at auction and they did very well. One of them, a couple of them actually went for at or above what some of the buy it nows were going for. And so that's the kind of things you can do with very liquid cards, a popular species, in demand stuff right now. And so, there's a place for auctions. There's a place for buy it nows. There's a place for holding. There's a place for selling. So everything's on a case-by-case basis. Wouldn't a Bitcoin ETF mean more money flowing into the market rather than Bitcoin? Yes and no. So it's going to flow into the market, but the Bitcoin ETF, I believe, holds the actual asset. It holds the Bitcoin. So they're going to have to hold enough Bitcoin. And I don't know exactly how it's going to work, to be honest with you. But from my understanding, they're going to have to hold more and more Bitcoin, or we're gonna see how it turns out. But my understanding is they actually hold the underlying asset. They're holding the whatever amount of Bitcoins that the ETF is tracking. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see. F crypto, I lost 4K. I'm sorry to hear that, Lodemir. Yeah, I think a lot of people lost in crypto in the last couple of years after the big booms. Zol, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Alejandro, again? Off topic, but hey, Alejandro, you don't have to give super chats, man. I'll get you your comments, but I appreciate it so much. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. But how about them One Piece Romance Dawn English booster box sales? Absolutely. Also, guys, if you have one of the first print runs, right, the old boxes, those actually go for more. So make sure if you are ever selling your investment, make sure you're comparing like to like, because they did reprints with new style boxes, and those are actually worth less than what the original packaging boxes is going for. And so just pay attention to that. They did the same thing with Paramount War, the second set. And so if you got in with the original boxes, those are actually selling at a premium. So just pay attention. Don't take less than what they're worth. Corey, what's up? It's Corey D. It's Nostalgianomics. What's up, man? Michael said, you gave a great answer for what I was trying to ask, even though I did it so vaguely by accident. No problem, man. Fat Belly collects Pokenomics. I'll call him out, but Jake's the GOAT. Well, that is up for everyone's individual opinion. Are you going heavy on Crown Zenith? I'm definitely going to pick up more Crown Zenith. Yes. I'm definitely going to move into more of that with the reprint, depending on how low it goes. What's next? A CGC submission? No, I'm not in the Cabal. I'm not going with the Cabal grading company. Guys, look. All joking aside and like all the hate CGC stuff, guys, you can't deny what's happening, right? These CGC cards are selling for fractions of what their PSA counterparts are going for. I mean, look, I guess if you're trying to play the race to the bottom game and you just have to get the brand new set and rush grade the cards so you can try to flip them on to the people that are going to get crushed on them, go for it. If you're buying these slabs or you're trying to like grade with that instead of PSA just because it gets back like a month sooner, the amount of money you're going to lose out on instead of putting that card in a PSA slab, it's so exponential now where the extra little $5 grading it cost and the extra little time frame it takes, I can't see how people are still saying that's worth it. And not to hate on CGC, it's just numbers, right? If the numbers were against PSA, I'd hate on PSA. I'm not some like, PSA is the greatest thing, that we've ever known to man. It's just the numbers, and you have to be objective to the numbers. No matter how you feel about how pretty the labels are, or that you hate PSA, or that you just like CGC, or you want to see a company come in and shake up the market, it's not happening right now. It's not happening. Deal with it. Position yourself how you want. Look, slabs are already a risky bet, but making like an even riskier bet on top of slabs and like risking the fact that, in the future, CGC is eventually going to get more respected and be worth more. That's just way too much risk for me. I'm not trying to get into all that. I'll put my money in Modern Seal before I try to risk it on a slab and then a new grading company. That's too much. So that's what I got to say about CGC, guys. Not hating on CGC, all you people who always get on me about it. I'm just trying to, I don't know, like shake people and wake them up. Like, guys, get out of the CGC fog you're in. Like, just look at the numbers. Look at them for yourself. Make the decision based on the numbers. I don't know what to tell you. Market Scrapper. I hate the new $600 IRS rule. I don't want to sell over 600 anymore. Can you talk about why folks that don't have a business should or shouldn't care about the new $600 boogeyman tax rule? I don't know. I've always paid taxes. If you're doing it right, guys, like get an accountant, set up a business correctly, like literally like every single, basically anything that you can justify as having some sort of use for your business, you can write off against those profits, against those taxes, which greatly reduces that tax bill. So when I see people post some real wild stuff like, you guys are going to be paying 35% tax rate or whatever crazy number they throw out. I've done this for 8 years now. I've never paid 30-something% tax rate on collectibles. It's never been anywhere near that. Like, just get a good accountant, understand how write-offs work, get the right things in place. Paying some taxes on some profits on the small amount of profits that you show after everything you can possibly write off. It's not the end of the world. It's not enough to like where you should not want to sell things. I mean, if you're really worried about it, while we're still a cash society until we go cashless, which they're trying to, the world's trying to do more and more, I guess try to Facebook Marketplace or anything local where you can get cash for it if you're that worried about it. But that's, keep that to yourself. I'm not trying to get on the IRS's bad list. I pay my taxes. I claim my stuff. So. My boy Alex at the helm. Teacher, everyone get your notebooks out. What's up, Pokemart TCG? New member, Elman Key. What is up? Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the memberships. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the emojis. Having fun with those. Trust me, YouTube is not enough income even when you hit 50K. You would need 100K to keep up a low-key lifestyle in just the ad revenue. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that's definitely not true. I guess it depends on the amount of views you're getting, right? Because a 50K or 100K channel could be like a dying channel. It could get like 1, 2, or 3K views of video, like something like what I get, right? Or you could have a 50K, 100K channel that gets 20, 30, 40,000 views of video. And if they're posting that daily or even semi-daily, I mean, I just know the ad rates I get, that'd be a living. Like that would be a living. Let me throw up my phone calculator real quick. If you're getting 20,000 views a day, you times that by 30 days, divided by 1,000 times 10. Yeah, I mean you'd be making a good living just off ad revenue. Plus you'd have, the other sources of revenue that come along with having a channel that big. That's crazy. Like if put it this way, in my opinion, if someone's got a channel that large and they're getting the views, they're not doing something right. Like they're running some kind of that business wrong. They're not promoting themselves properly. I don't know, but that sounds crazy to me, just off the numbers I know. Unsub Japanese to the moon. Hey man, dude, I said I could be wrong. I could be wrong this time. It's all good, and I'll own it. Like I'll own it. I'm not gonna dance around it and do what other people did with Modern Sealed and act like, oh, I was always about Modern Sealed. No, I'll be honest. I'll say, no, I wasn't about Japanese. I don't have Japanese product. I'll probably get some 151 booster boxes from Japanese just because I like the Master Ball thing and things like that. And I think some of those specialty sets will be a different animal. But no, look, just because I'm not about something doesn't mean you can't be. Like, you do your own thing. I'm not mad at you. I don't know why this community doesn't have to be this way. Just because there's differences of opinion doesn't mean if you have to beat each other's throats. And I know Trial's just trolling me, but like some people really like this. Like if you say something bad about what they like, they get on you. They're mad at you. It's like with CGC, people will get mad at me for talking bad about CGC. It's like, look, if you're about CGC, if you're about Japanese, go for it. Have fun. I hope you, and that's the other thing. I don't even hope you do bad. I hope you do well. Hopefully it does keep going and you do keep making money. That's fine. We can all do well together. It doesn't do it for me. Like I'd probably move into like another English TCG before I move to Japanese. Look, I'll tell you my gripes with it. I can get in English booster boxes these days at or under what distributors give them to stores at. So I get into the ground level. With Japanese, I don't have connections. And even a lot of people with connections get them for more than what the stores over there pay. So they're already marked up in the US. So I'm getting in an investment at a higher cost basis than everyone else who's investing in Japan or who has contacts, right? So I don't like that aspect. Two, I don't like the aspect of, not knowing, and I know you can get around it by building a relationship with someone you trust, but like, especially getting into it, possibly getting, fake product or tampered with product. Don't like that aspect. I don't personally, my personal opinion, I don't like the cards as much. A million people in this chat are going to disagree with that. That's fine. For me, I don't like it as much. And then 4, English has always been more liquid here until recently. Like I've been around, like I've been here since 15. Up until 2020, 2021, English has been more liquid, always. I find it hard to believe that just because we've had this bull run and a lot of people enter the hobby and there's a bandwagon Japanese thing going on still, that's always going to be the case. I just don't see it. So for all those reasons, it's kind of like Shark Tank. So for all those reasons, I'm out. Like, that's just why I'm out on Japanese. Despite your squeaky voice, I find your knowledge of Pokemon resale market informative and refreshing. I'll start talking like that, okay? Sorry. Spicy topic, sleeve booster packs are completely weighable. Are they? I don't know. A lot of variations in cardboard. It's a lot of cardboard, a lot of plastic. I don't know. Again, I don't know one way or the other though. It seems unlikely to me. A lot of people claim you can weigh the old blisters, the base set, jungle, fossil, all them. Maybe. I don't know. I think there's too many variations in the cardboard, but it's possible. Maybe people have found a way to do it. Flip flap. Alex, put a reverse Pokeball. Put a reverse Pokemon ball, 151 Japanese versus 151 reverse English. You'll understand why it's the only set I invest in Japan. Yeah, I get it. Not even talking about the Master Ball rarity. Yeah, that's cool. I get it, man. I got a question. Why in the hell is paying $2,000 for an ultra dimensional Lucamine? And why is that box so high? Hey, like I said, if enough people want a certain thing and there's not enough supply available, the price can rise. And a lot of people want to call that irrational, and the market's being irrational and people are being irrational. But, you know, everyone's got a different level of income and everyone has different goals with their money. And so, you know, is it irrational for someone worth $10 million to buy that card? Probably not. Is it irrational for someone struggling to pay bills to buy that? Yeah. But the majority of people I've met in this hobby and talked with have all been doing relatively well in life, like above average income, very stable, a lot of disposable income. And so if that's what people like and they have the money, which a lot of people in this hobby do, it's not that crazy. It's not because investors, right, are going to say, well, it's crazy because the population report, how much is out there, how much supply, how easy it is to get. It's not that rare. How much it's already risen, you know, so it's got so long to fall. We can come up with all the actual like statistics on why it's a bad play. But for a collector, you know, I mean, I get it. You know, it's they can afford it. That's what they want. You know, it's in their budget. Go for it. I get it. Paywalls. This is the way. You never know. Never know. Exactly, Alex Preach. This is why I am okay with starting to sell some of the Sun and Moon XY products I got cheap that went in price to free up extra money to put back in some of the new modern. Yeah, so XY and Sun and Moon have seen massive price rises recently in a down market in like ultra modern. And so, yeah, I get it. You know, into strength, it's always a good time to take some profits off the table. I'm definitely not opposed to that. Absolutely. The last thing you want to be doing is wanting to sell and then trying to sell on the way down, because on the way down, the prices are getting lower and lower. The liquidity is getting less and less. If you're in the mode and you're thinking it might be time to sell and the prices are strong and going up still, it's always good idea to take some profits into strength. Absolutely, Alex. No problem at all. Appreciate that. I prefer trading over selling. Wish more people shared those experiences. It was so fun in the playground in the 90s. Bring it back. Taxation is stuff. Trading is the only way to win. Yeah, for sure. I mean, guys, anyone watching this is not in the Discord. In the description, got a free Discord. The invite's there. There's a whole buy, sell, trade section. There's also a section of recommended seller. Anyone who's done any transactions, people can leave reviews in them there. So you know if anyone's anyone there is like has tried to scam someone. And so yeah, I mean, check out the buy, sell, trade section in the Discord. If you're not wanting to buy or sell anything, you can trade with people there. Great idea. That video of your closet was fire. Thanks for showing me. Oh yeah, I did show it to Ponga at Collecticon. That's right. I'll it's a video of my old some of my old collection. It wasn't everything because a lot of the high dollar stuff was in the safe, like the boxes and some of the high end slabs. But it was a lot of the display was up, and it was a lot cooler display than what I have now. Alex has 50 cases minimum. Yeah. I think the Japanese versus English quality is mostly pumped by flippers caring about whitening. There's only a few sets. The art quality of Japanese is significantly better. Yeah, that's all it is. It's a lot of it is the high volume flippers. They like it because they can buy large amounts, like 50, 100, 200 cards at a time. and they can grade the majority of them, and they can just continuously. That's why they like CGC so much. They get it back faster, and they can just continuously dump large amounts of that junk onto the market before, you know, the market catches up and people realize how much they paid for stuff. Pokemon is a cash cow working on a budget, buying profitable products that are already doing well. Tons of content creators sharing knowledge to help you make moves on any budget. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is called a trading card game, people. It's trade with people. Man, what is going on? I am at, oh, geez. All right, guys. I'm at 104. It is 1:40 Central Time. I am 40 minutes behind on chat. So I'm going to be skipping some questions. I'm sorry if I skip yours. I'm just trying to catch up. Okay. So again, I apologize. I'm not trying to dodge your question. If I dodged it and you really wanted an answer, just feel free to leave it again. I'm going to try to move pretty quickly. You have stick with what is popular in demand and playable cards packs. Yeah, I try to stick with the popular species, what's in demand, what I can, and then also I'll do that with some stuff that's maybe not as liquid or not as in demand, but still a popular species if I'm trying to hit those home runs. What I mean by home runs is like, you know, some of these like cards where you can buy and a 10 is like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. That's why I said 50x. I mean, those plays are actually out there. Like I said, I bought a $2 Charizard at CollectCon and sold it for $140 in a PSA 10. So it's like, those are the plays that I look into a lot more than trying to make $10, $20, $30 a million times. It's just, that's just not enjoyable to me. I wouldn't want to deal with that much volume. You mentioned previous video plans for an office studio. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm going to have time to set that up. So it's going to look great, guys. I got the bull and the bear picture. I'm going to take this off real quick. Here, I got the bull and the bear picture. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that behind me. I have a shelf that's going to go behind me. It's going to have, you know, product on it. And then I have these 3D wall panels on the whole wall, which is going to look really cool and look like an actual YouTube studio. I already got the lighting. And so, yeah, it's going to look pretty cool. So I'm going to have that done. That'll be done shortly now that all this is. So, I mean, this week I'm a little busy. I got some stuff we're going to be doing. But after that, in this next week or two, yeah, the studio is going to be set up. So I'm really excited about that. Absolutely. Thanks for reminding me about that, Oregon. Are you reaching the point where the first year's worth of sealed investments are reaching good exit points on them? Yeah. I've already sold some Rebel Clash and Sword and Shield base. I sold out of all my Evolving Skies and then I bought it back, you know, recently. Yeah, some of the stuff I sold some Celebrations UPCs. So I've sold some sealed product like here and there, but yeah, like nothing made, like I'm not going to sell boxes at $150 a box or whatever, like some of these mid Sword and Shield sets are going for. But yeah, I mean, once they start getting into like that $300, $400, $500 range, yeah, definitely. Rebel Clash I sold a little sooner just because, you know, it did a lot of weird things when it was released, and then it like went stagnant, and you know, it's just like not that great of a set. So I still have some, but I definitely did sell some of those boxes too. Just again, I love like to get as much of my original capital out of things. Like my Celebration GPCs I have 100% paid for, zero cost basis. I had 20 of them at one point. Now I am down to 6 and 100% paid for. So, or 5 or 6, forget. So 5 or 6 of those. And so like, I'm a fan of like eventually getting a little bit of profit and being able to put things away long-term at zero cost basis. That way you're not stressed out about what happens with the market. You don't care because you don't have any, I mean, technically you're losing unrealized gains. You're just not losing any of the money you worked for, which is good. Money is for freedom, not for yachts. Absolutely. It's that freedom and like being able to do whatever I want each day and like live on my own terms. That's worth more than me than a Lambo in the garage or a yacht or a private jet or any of that junk, or like going on, you know, having a vacation home or any of that stuff. And like, obviously I wasn't making enough money to be able to afford, but realistically, yeah, I mean, people, I think it's crazy, but yeah, I could have bought a Lamborghini. It's not that big of a deal. Like it's like a taxes and insurance and car payment. What, maybe $4 or $5 grand a month is what it would cost. Like could have done that. Could have bought a home in Florida or something, or a condo. And yeah, it's not that big of a deal. We're talking about like $3, $4, $5, $6,000 a month, where it's like where I have multiple streams of income. My wife works. I made really good money. So like realistically, yeah, I could have had some of those things, but then Russell said, the freedom you're losing, like all that money could be going to long-term investments where you don't have to work your ass off in your 50s and 60s. If you are smart with the money, now in your 30s and 40s. And so, yeah, I'm much more about the freedom and just stress-free life than things. Things don't do it for me. Other than Pokemon, other than Pokemon cards. I have 300K in sealed, but that is 7 years of buying, and I am still throwing money in Crown Zenith. I am debt-free the last 10 plus years. That's a large position, man. Congrats on that. That's got to be going back into XY Sun and Moon, man. That's awesome. Congrats to Pokemon TCG. That's a legit position right there. More than I have. That's more than I have now. Can you sell me some of your products at wholesale? I find my products like on open market sites. Like I don't have any backdoor deals. I don't have distribution. That's the whole point of this channel. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be a store. You don't have to have distribution. You don't have to have sweetheart deals. You don't have to have contacts. You can be someone that you don't know anybody, sitting in your room alone and don't know really much about Pokemon, and you can invest in modern sealed product, because nowadays you can literally pick this stuff up for at or under what distributors are charging stores right now. So anyone can do this. You don't need anything. You don't need me to sell you anything. You can buy it the same place as I did. And that came off wrong. I'm not trying to be like an asshole to you. I'm just saying, like, you don't need me. You can go buy this stuff at wholesale pricing. Just look around. Sorry guys, just scrolling through the chat. Hey, Pika's here. I'm always so busy and amazed at how you find time in the day to make live streams. I'm listening in the background. Well, like I said, now it's going to be a lot easier. Before though, like I said, I worked a lot of nights and weekends. And then I had like split shifts where I'd work like a morning appointment and a night appointment. I had a lot of downtime during the day. Because, you can imagine in sales jobs, not a lot of people are home during the day to talk, or if they are home, they're working. Like they don't have time for a 2-hour appointment about their, their home improvements. And so, I've just always had a lot of time throughout the day. The lone wolf cabal. That's what we'll be. I don't even like now. We're not any kind of cabal. I don't like that term. It's an evil term. Are you going to take more risk with your plays now? For instance, buying a TCG Classic to grade the promos. In the past, you didn't like that product. Does that change now? No, I'm not doing that. I don't need to. I don't need to take those kind of risks. If you know what to look for and you're good at pre-grading and you can find the right cards, you don't need to play the race to the bottom games with the brand new products. Like I know a lot of the flippers like to do that, and maybe you do need to do that to be full-time. I know me and Retrospecs have had conversations about that. And he might be right. Like maybe you do need to be that person to be a full-time income in flipping. But if you're like me, I'm trying to like create some sort of just like a different style of full-time, right? If I ever do continue to take this full-time, it's going to be a combination of things. Like I don't need to make the 100% of my income just on flipping, because I'll tell you one thing, I would hate that just as much as my job I just quit. Like I would hate having to, grade 3, 4, 5, 600 cards a month and then ship all those out and rinse and repeat. And I would get so burnt out doing that. That sounds awful to me. I'd rather be more selective with my plays and make larger margins on what I sell, and find other sources of income within other spaces or other parts of the hobby or social media, and kind of put together a full income from multiple different areas. So I'm not about that. I'm not about like, because here's it's like you're always behind, right? People had the UPCs like weeks before anyone else did. Stores and distributors, they're going to have that long time before any of us see them. So there's already going to be people cracking those, ready to grade them. They're going to be faster than you. Like, I just don't want to play that race to the bottom game. It's just, it doesn't sound fun to me. Why would I get out of doing something I don't like to do something more stuff I don't like? That sounds stupid. That just sounds dumb. But hey, if that's your deal, go for it. Like, get after it. I have no hate for it, right? Like, I'm happy for anyone who makes money on doing anything, right? The people who got in on the felt hat Pikachu with the Van Gogh thing. Great for you guys. Make those flips, make that money, free tendies. Good for it. For me, I don't want to sit up and wait for every release. I don't want to like try to find every little coupon and make 1 million accounts and get proxies and VPNs and try to get all the TikTok deals. And I don't want to play that game. It's just, that sounds so hectic. And it seems like you're always on, you're always trying to work and look for this deal and that deal. I got a little niche where I'm comfortable in, and it's working right now. And it seems to be continuing to work. And I'm going to focus more on like continuing to do that and the social media side and some other things. And just do things I enjoy. That's like I said, we're going to have fun. That is the whole sentiment going forward. We're going to have some fun. Auctions are great on most liquid stuff. If you have something that only sells a few times a month or less, do not. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm late to the party. Clickbait? No, not clickbait. Not at all. Not really making a full-time income off selling cards right now, but that's the plan at least. I did quit my job, so I will be doing this for the foreseeable future, but not clickbait. Could get another job in the near future at some point next year, but yeah, we're gonna see how things go. Is there a particular program you use to keep track of your inventory sealed slabs? A lot of people have been liking the Collector app. I think I am going to have time to actually download that and see how that works. Excel spreadsheets. I'm old school. I know. I'm boring. It's all on Excel spreadsheets for me. And I update them every like quarter. And so they're always off, obviously, because things fluctuate. But yeah, Excel spreadsheets. I'm pretty boring. Alex, where do you sell your merchandise? eBay, or do you have a Shopify site set up? It's through Wix, but yeah, it's in the description. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. But it's nostalgianomics.com, and then there's a merch section. And then there's also a section for like recommended products on nostalgianomics.com where I have like all the things I use for like collection purposes, shipping and selling purposes, recording and like social media purposes. So all that stuff's there. When people always ask me like, what sleeves do you use? What, top loaders, which, semi-rigids, which, all that good stuff. It's all there. Like what kind of booster box display like cases do you use? It's all on there. Exactly the stuff I use. What are non-booster box sealed products that do pretty well? Like certain collection boxes, tins. Yeah, it's sporadic on those. 3-pack blisters usually do pretty well. PCTBs now and always. Yeah, I mean, random tins and collection boxes, they're hit and miss. You got to understand like the promos and I guess how many of them are out there. Like ultra premium collections can do well. It's sporadic. It's really hit and miss. Booster boxes are the most like tried and true. And then next to them is probably PCETBs. Guys, I'm just trying to look for something. Terry Lake is here. I know Terry and Catch 'em All Collectibles go at it a lot. I assure you, if you don't claim that 1099 in your taxes, that you will be paper audited. Yeah, I mean, guys, claim your stuff. Like the last thing I want to do is be on the IRS's list. One thing I don't mess with is taxes. I don't mess with that at all. I just, I use all my write-offs that I can. I do everything legally possible to get the tax bill down, but every sale goes into my books. Every sale. And I'm not just saying that on YouTube in case an IRS agent's watching me. I literally do that. Every single sale goes in my books. Just because, guys, like there's enough. Like I said, if you understand, get an accountant. They'll teach you how write-offs work. Like you can structure things in a way to where you can you'll get that. You're not going to pay like whatever 30% of everything you sell. You're going to pay a lot. you're going to pay the same tax rate, but it's going to be on a lot less profits because you have write-offs. Yeah, my thoughts on the $400 collector box. Look, people try to compare it to like that Team Rocket collector case that's going for tens of thousands of dollars. It's not that. It's not the Celebrations UPC. It's not, guys. Look, maybe it'll do well. I'm not gonna bash it. I'm not. I may end up getting one for myself. I haven't yet. No, I will not be investing in them. I don't believe in them. I think it's a glorified theme deck type thing. They're pre-constructed decks. There's no pull rate rarity. It's $400 for 3 60-card decks and some fancy whatever items. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. That's just me though. That's just me. I've been buying older CGC slabs that won't regrade as 10s to crack for binder for below raw across for Pokemon market eras. If that's not worrisome, I don't know what is. Yeah. So on the flip side of that, hold on one second. On the flip side, there are a lot of plays with CGC possibly right now. If you can find clean 10s, which again, a lot of these guys, I'm going to say this for everyone still here. Don't listen to people if they're telling you a CGC 10 is a PSA 10. And you might as well buy a CGC 10 for your collection now. If you ever want to down the road, you can always crack it out and put it in that other label. No, you can't. Wrong. Don't listen to those people. They're lying to you. It's possible, but I have combed through so many of these 10s trying to make that play. Right? Trying to buy these way under market value because some of these vintage ones, they're ending thousands of dollars less than a PSA 10 counterpart. You want to know the reason why? Is because when you look at them, try to pre-grade them, most of them, there's no way, like unless you got a grader that was just having a great day that day, they're not getting PSA 10s. They're not 10 quality. And so people that are stacking up these CGC 10s saying, well, look, I'm not a label person. One day, if I have to sell them and I want the most return, I'll just crack them and send them to PSA and get them in PSA 10 cases. No, you won't. No, you won't. But with that being said, there is a play there, right? Like Leaf Green Goblin said, if you can get them in a near mint condition, cheaper than near mint card, buy them, crack them, enjoy them. Also, if you can find 9.5s and 10s that are very clean and can get PSA 10s, there's huge margins there. Like you can crack those, send it to PSA. Hopefully it gets graded correctly and you get that 10 because you can make a lot of money doing that. There's a lot of plays with CGC right now. And so it could pay to start buying some of those CGC 10s when they're going at these astronomically low prices. I mean, guys, I'm not bullshitting. Like I'm watching some of these first edition, like WotC Hollows, PSA 10s, and you'll see a PSA 10 go for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000. And some of the CGC 10s are going for like $800, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, $2,000. It's crazy the margins you could make if you can crack that and get a 10. Like one of those is like basically a whole month, right? I mean, what if you crack a $2,000 card, got a 10, sold it for 7K? It's like, well, there's $5,000 right there. I mean, how much volume is the volume guys are going to have to sell? Like how many $20 profit cards are they going to have to sell to do what you did in one card, right? It's like, and so, those are the things I like to look for. I'm not saying I found any right now, but I'm just saying those are like the plays I like to look for because I'd rather take larger risks for the larger rewards instead of like selling 500 cards a month. That just doesn't sound fun. I don't know. It just doesn't sound fun to me. All right. Terry's getting into some 1099 Schedule C's and talking about some tax filings. We're not going to get into that deep of stuff here, Terry. Sorry about that. Guys, I'm going to go for probably another like 10, 15 minutes. If you want to leave any last minute comments or questions for me, I'll take them. I'm almost caught up with chat, only about 20 minutes out. So I'll get to your questions. I love all the Cabal emotes everyone's using. Incept card collector. I love it. Appreciate you being a member too, man. Life circumstances had to accept a job at that time. Sales, LOL. No, I didn't have to. I had an in at the company, and it was like I said, I knew what kind of money I could make there, and I was able to sell my company and got a good chunk of change for that company to put away, and then also jump right into a very good earning job where I had way less stress and responsibilities than I had running my company. Didn't have to deal with, people anymore and people quitting and having to go out and do labor and just, all the hundreds of customers I had to deal with. It was a lot nicer at first, but it still wasn't what I was looking for. So I didn't take a last resort type sales job. It was actually it is a good job if you don't mind putting up with some bullshit. Because a lot of people there had been there for years and years, and they have no doubt they're not going to leave. They're probably going to retire there. And so it just depends on who you talk to. It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. That's all. It wasn't a terrible place to work. What do you think the next 2 years will look like for the vintage market? Base, jungle, fossil? Terrible. I mean, you're asking me, terrible. First edition base set, I like it. Shadowless base set, I like it. Look, even jungle first and fossil first were printed heavily. Don't even touch base, fossil, and jungle unlimited. If you want to, if you're maybe the 10s, the first edition jungle fossil 10s might hold up a bit. But I just don't see major growth if you're asking me. That's me. Like when I say that I believe in some vintage, it's not those. It's someone like the later WotC, it's someone like the mid-era, like the Gold Star stuff, some of the real like niche, very rare, very low pop, very popular Pokemon. But it's not those very heavy printed sets. That's just not what I'm thinking. But like first edition base, it's always going to be the first, first of everything usually do well. You probably do okay in first edition base, but unlimited, man, whew. Anything unlimited from back then, that's rough. That's rough. Until you get into like the Neos and things, like those are holding up a little better, but oof, those first few, no, not for me. That's just my opinion. Could be wrong. I'm always going to say, however, right? However, I could be wrong, but I don't like them. Can you weigh Plasma Storm, Plasma Blast? Yeah, probably, right? You can weigh XY up until break point or breakthrough. One of those sets is where it changed over to the white codes. Prior to that, you could weigh them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you can weigh black and white as well. Black and white was before my time. I got in during XY. I never opened too much black and white. But yes, XY was weighable up until breakthrough, I think. Breakthrough, I think, was either the first or the last set, one of those two, to be weighed. Like Fates Collide, Steam Siege, Evolution, so on. Those were not weighable. They switched the codes up. They were different weight. It offset the packs or whatever, and you couldn't weigh those. I've seen people try it in the past, and you can't do it. Did you pick up Crown Zenith Lugia V boxes from GameStop during the Pro member sale? I did not. Thoughts on it being a great long-term hold. I mean, at that price, you're probably fine, right? I mean, if you're getting into those crazy deals, you're getting a low enough cost basis where you're going to be all right. Is it going to, like I said, they're all hit and miss. All the collection boxes and tins and specialty stuff, it's all hit and miss. The booster boxes are the most like proven. Everything else, I mean, there's going to be crazy fluctuations. It's kind of like cards. If you hit it right, great. If you don't, it probably won't be well. Alex, what dollar amount are you trying to reach before you go full-time in Pokemon? I don't know. I really don't know. I think I'd be comfortable doing like 5,000 or 6,000 a month profit, which sounds like a lot. If I was at that, I'd feel comfortable enough not getting another job. Just because, like I said, the money's just not that important to me. I don't need to be making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year to be happy. I thought I did, but I really don't. So yeah, if I could do something I love and, life was enjoyable and I could be making that kind of money, then yeah, that'd be fine for me. I think it's realistic with what I'm trying to do here. But we'll see. Kelvin Trading with the super chat. Hey man, He-Man, not He-Man. Welcome to the club. I run a bar and Pokemon business. It's the best TCG to be in. Good luck with that. The best. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you ran a bar too. That's awesome. So, dude, one entrepreneur to another, I'm happy to hear things are going well. Introspect, gotta love the cabal, the cabal emojis. Wait, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think about that? You think it's a realistic mindset on this business? You think you can get to like, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month? I think it's pretty realistic. What about people buying for hobby, love, and experience of purchase and not necessarily trying to flip a $20, $30 card? Yeah, what about it? What about it, Sean? Talk about that a lot. I mean, I think any PSA 10, like under probably $40 or $50 is a buy. I mean, if you're collecting, why would you want to try to risk buying a card for whatever it costs? $1, $3, $5, $10, grade it for 15, pay the shipping and all that. And so you're in the card, like, I don't know, $20, $30 just to maybe get a 10. And then maybe you get a bad grader and you don't get a 10 it deserves. Why not just buy the card for $25, $30, $35, $40, even $50? There's a point where it makes sense to just buy for your collection, and then a point where it makes sense to try to grade yourself but yeah, I mean, for fun, buying singles, buying binder sets, buying one of each sealed box or collection. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm all for that. I mean, I had a portion of my budget that I was putting aside to just buy things I liked and enjoyed for collection. I'm probably not going to do as much of that right now. I'm going to kind of go into money-making mode, but yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with that. What's up, dude? Pat Lat Power Channel. I am always YouTubing to make it in on Nostalgianomics live streams. To make it in? What do you mean? You want to get on here one time? Reach out, man. Reach out. Diamond and Pearl? I don't know. You know what? Ask Eli Pokemart. He'll know that answer. He's all about Diamond and Pearl. I know nothing. I know very, very little about mid-era stuff. It's because I know interest. Like, here's my expertise. Like, everything from like Neo back to base, I could tell you pretty much like almost everything. Talk about the errors. I can talk about all the different releases, all the different boxes, all the different packs, the long crimp, the short crimp, the base set 1999 to 2000 print, the black triangle packs, the what could be shadowless, what couldn't be shadowless, the shadowless boxes, the green. I could talk about like all that type of stuff, the different theme decks, like the Thunderstorm and Tempest theme decks, the demo packs, the Trainer Deck A, Trainer Deck B. Like, that was all I did as vintage up until 2017, 18, 19. Like, that was it. My first couple of years of the hobby, it was nothing but vintage. I was on E4. I was watching SM Pratt. I was learning everything there could to be. I never really got into the mid-era stuff, though. And then I got in XY, and I know everything about XY forward. So those are kind of my two areas of expertise. I just haven't put a lot of effort into the mid-era stuff. Why? Just don't care. Like, there's not enough interest there. I don't really like the cards that much. Just don't care. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more knowledgeable people than me out there about that stuff. Have you reached the point where it's nearly a good exit time for the boxes you invested in for the first? I answered that already. Congrats on quitting. Thanks a lot, man. It felt good. Feels good. Just no responsibilities, right? Nowhere to be. It's a good feeling. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, man. Okay, we're almost caught up now. CGC make great frisbees. FOMO. That's a Mr. Walrus style comment right there. The trolling is real. Gold stars are going up. Look at TCG Fish looking at good possible play before breakout upside. That's what, hey, I've always said gold stars, shinings, some of the crystals from like Aquapolis Skyridge, some of the high-end first edition stuff from the first generation. Like, there is going to be a portion of vintage that does well, but the whole like rising tide raises all ships. Everything's going to rise across the board like it did last time. 99% sure it's not going to happen. It's going to be the rare, the niche, the popular species, the hard to find cards, the popular cards. That's going to be the stuff that moves. Gold stars is one of them. So yeah, that's good to see. I'm happy for the gold star holders. What's your favorite card you pulled? Man, I don't know. I did pull the Burning Shadows Rainbow Rare Charizard back in the day, and it graded a 9. No longer have that. I pulled a base set Charizard before, unlimited. I've pulled, I don't know. I really don't know what my favorite card I pulled is. I guess I could say the Burning Shadows Charizard. I pulled countless Evolutions Charizards, every single one of them. I opened more Evolutions product than any other product I've ever opened. I pulled the Fates Clyde Alakazam. That was a cool card. But yeah, I'll say the Burning Shadows Rainbow Rare Charizard. That's probably the best card I pulled. I've been in the hobby 2 years, started a Pokemon business 6 months ago, making about $1,500 a month currently. I'm also shooting for $5K a month to be comfortable doing this full time. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good, realistic, good point to be comfortable with it. Absolutely. You need distro and you'll make it. Without distro, it's a real grind. I don't know, man. I talked to a lot of people with distro. It's you only make money on certain products, and a lot of the products, you take losses or they sit. I'd much rather kind of make this more of a, like I said, more of a hybrid style, more of like a social media and selling, and then doing a few other things with other businesses and try to make an income from a lot of different sources. I don't think I enjoy like what PokeNE does. Like, man, that dude's always working. He moves massive amounts of inventory, like, McDan or some of these guys, like those guys, they do a lot of shipments. I mean, a lot of inventory. They source a lot of product. I mean, it's a lot of work. And I mean, I'm sounding so lazy right now. It's just, I just think there's different ways to go about getting the same results in terms of income, I guess. Why hasn't bro gotten demonized? Literally, he has weapons in his thumbnails. That's hilarious. I think before he started doing consignments, Dan said he was taking about $60K salary. Huh. Okay. I mean, again, like, who knows what that means, right? Dan understands how to run a business and work his books too. Dan holds a lot of sealed product. Dan, holds a lot of inventory. So who knows how much he's actually making if he wasn't like making other investments or doing other things with the money. I'm sure he's making more than 60K is all I'm going to say. Do you think Moonbreon PSA 10 would be a good investment long-term? Man, I don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm definitely not saying no. I can't say yes. I just don't know. It's like the card of a generation. It is overgraded, but there's a lot of people that want it. It has fallen a good amount already. I don't know. We're going to find out. It's going to be fun, right? We're having fun here. To make $5K a month profit a month, assuming profit margin of 20%, what you're selling, then you would have to sell $25K worth. Yes, if you're just selling product, right? If you're just selling product. But if you're doing social media and you have some YouTube ad revenue and some partnerships and some other, sources of revenue, and you're also selling, it decreases the amount you need to sell to make that. So yes and no. When's the next live with Eli? Man, Eli's so, I think I asked him if I could to have a call one time, and he was like busy. Like, Eli's swamped, man. Eli's got a lot going on. So I'm not gonna push anything with Eli until he's settled down and back to actually making his own content regularly again before I ask him for anything. Okay. Is there any more upward movement on Sun and Moon, or did that recent surge? No, there's tons of movement. The tag team sets are they've stagnated a little bit, but the rest of the era is moving. Burning Shadows is moving, Forbidden Light's moving. I think Celestial Storm or Lost Thunder's moving. A lot of those other sets are moving right now. And so, yeah, Sun and Moon era is moving. A lot of X and Y is moving. I answered the vintage question already, I believe. What happened to Mr. Walrus and Dan? I don't see them around now that you mention it. Yeah. I don't see a lot of people around anymore. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, right? This title is trolling, right? No, it's not trolling. I mean, I quit my job. we're going to see how things go for the next few months. And then the start of the year, I might end up getting another job. But yeah, for the time being, for the next few months, this is how it's going to be. Walrus might go full-time in this hobby. Really? Well, congrats to him. Congrats to him. Hope he's doing well. Again, don't hear from a lot of those guys anymore. I had a complete mint first edition base set from the 90s, then gave it away and went to college. I'm dead inside. I would be too. That's rough. No one quits their job and wants some more work, right? I hear that. Hey, thanks a lot, Scott. I appreciate that. 151 ETB versus the UPC. What's going to be the best hold? Oh, gosh. Probably the UPC. Taking the ETB at 50 and the UPC at 100. I think that's the fair market prices. I think the UPC will probably be better. That's just me. We'll see. Appreciate that, man. Walrus is a restaurant manager. Pokemon might be more lucrative. Yeah, who knows, man. Guys, I think I made it to the end of the chat. I want to thank all of you who are channel members, who joined the membership, who have continued to be members. I want to thank anyone who just continue to stay subscribed to this channel. There's been a lot of controversies, right? I mean, there's been, just coming out of the gate, people hated how I compared the stock market to Pokemon. People hated how I did Modern Seal. I had the Pokenomics stuff, the Poke Knowledge card stuff. We had, just a lot of different tension here and there. And I just appreciate everyone sticking with me through everything and still watches the channel after all the dramas kind of subsided. I have no hate or, anything for anyone in this hobby. I have differences of opinions with people, and sometimes that comes across as like attacking, but I've never attacked anyone's character. I don't disagree. I disagree with the way people do things or things they say or the, views they have. And that's what I've always tried to, take part in my debates. And so for anyone I've wronged in the past, I do apologize about that. But no, I really appreciate all the support, guys. Hopefully things get fun and get spicy here in the weeks and months to come. We're going to have some fun, like I said. And like I said, this week I got a lot going, but next week and going from there, expect a studio setup, expect a lot more content, expect higher quality content, a lot of different socials. We'll have some pack breaks again, maybe some streaming, and it is going to be a good time. So thanks again for everyone showing up today, and see you guys back here in a new video. I'm out.